Hello. So I've decided I'm going to do a video like this every Saturday where I do a speed paint of the Before the Afterlife remake comic in the background, and then I'll talk about something random. And you guys are free to suggest anything in the pinned comment, and I'll pick one and I'll do it for that week's video. This week it is about tattooing. So I've always wanted to tattoo. Like, even when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I really want to. And I remember watching, I think it was like Miami Ink or like one of those old tattoo shows, and I was like, oh my god, I really want to do this. This would be cool. But it kind of was like, well, at the time, it wasn't considered a real job for me, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just find something else. But I always had like the dream of tattooing on the side. Like, for a couple years, it was like, oh yeah, I'll teach during the school year, but in the summertime I'll tattoo. Not really realistic, but you know. Anyway, when COVID hit, I was still planning to go to university to be a teacher. That was still the plan, and I wasn't really hyped about it, I don't think. But when COVID hit, I had more time to sit down and practice my art. I had more time to like focus on things that I actually needed to work on, like anatomy and backgrounds. And I think that kind of like opened my eyes. I was like, holy crap, I actually really like this. Like, I've always liked art, but I've never liked learning the basics to it. But getting to sit down and learn like the basics and like how things work and anatomy and all the things that I usually just ignored, it was actually really fun. So I think I was like, well, maybe doing art as a job would be cool. So I was like, well, what about tattooing? So I kind of considered tattooing, but I never really did anything. I think I just kind of researched it and just got really into Ink Master. So yeah, so over quarantine, I just kind of practiced my art, kept doing that, and then I had to go to university in September. That was interesting. That ended horribly. I dropped out within 2 months. I think a week after I dropped out, I went to Amazon and bought myself a tattoo machine. Not suggested. If you're going to do that, at least be safe about it and don't tattoo anybody or yourself without the proper sanitary stuff or procedures or anything. Be safe. Yeah, so I got myself a tattoo machine, I got myself some fake skin, and I just practiced, and I basically would devote like hours a day to learning how it worked, like watching YouTube videos on how to do it properly and all that. And while I was doing that, I was also bugging every shop in town about getting an apprenticeship. Nobody answered me. Basically, I just kept bugging every shop in town, and nobody wanted to take on an apprentice, so that was great. By Christmas, I had asked for all the sanitary supplies to tattoo myself, and I got them, and for Christmas, I gave myself a crappy cabbage rose tattoo. I was literally shaking, because, I don't know, there's something about tattooing yourself, and you just kind of sit there, and you're like, my body's telling me don't do it, but I really want to do it, but I don't want to inflict pain on myself. But, you know, I did it, and I've kind of given myself a new tattoo every month. So far, I've got a mandala, a cabbage rose, a love yourself, calorie on my ankle, and Bob the Praying Mantis. So that's fun. Currently, I am still bugging the shops, and none of them will take me. So that's been great. I've got one shop who might take me in, but I don't know, I doubt it. Doesn't seem to be working out. COVID has been messing with things a lot. But, you know, worst comes to worst, I'll just open my own shop and forever be known as the Scratcher who never learned how to tattoo the proper way, according to other people. Small tangent. I'm just going to go on a rant here, but for people who are part of the tattooing community, I don't get why we have to label people who learn themselves as scratchers. Like, To me, a scratcher is somebody who buys a machine and then just decides they're going to tattoo somebody for fun and then never touches the machine again. And they probably caused an infection. HIV, hepatitis C, all that is just lurking around the corner, and, you know, like, they're not using any sanitary needs, like, I don't know. That to me is a scratcher, but I don't think people who learn by themselves and devote all their time to learning should be labeled as a scratcher, because at least they're trying to learn how to do it properly. Yes, I understand you can pick up some bad habits along the way, but, like, I don't see why everybody needs an apprenticeship to be considered an actual tattoo artist. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, so that's where I am tattoo-wise. I'm really hoping to get an apprenticeship soon, at least. If not, I will make my own way. I don't know. I'm determined to do this. For now, I just got a lot of commission work, and I'm kind of working as an animator, so that's fun.